So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Bandai Tamashii Nation's SH Figuarts, The Dark Knight, Catwoman. So let's get into it right away and take a quick look at the box. So we do get a very basic style box when it comes to the SH Figuarts, The Dark Knight line. So we do get the one right now on the front of the box. On the top does say SH Figuarts, and we do get the warning blah blah blah. And then on the bottom here we do get an image of the SELINA Kyle figures. This Catwoman, The Dark Knight Rises, Tamashii Nations, and Bandai. And then here's the bottom of the box with the same image that is on the front of the box there. Then here's the top of the box. And then the one side of it with a back image of the Catwoman figure there. Then here's the other side of the box with the same image once again that is on the front of the box. And the back of it does show a few poses you can get the figure into along with some of the accessories. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure over to take a closer look at this Catwoman who didn't even have her iconic whip in the movie. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look, and Tamashii Nations did an alright job with detail on this Catwoman. There is a couple QC issues which we'll go over in a second, but the face sculpt here turned out alright. It does look like Anne Hathaway. It's just I feel like a little more paint detail would have brought out the likeness of Anne Hathaway a little bit better on the face there, and the paint's pretty clean on it. Around the lips is well done. The upper part of the mask is well done. But where the skin tone meets the mask by her nostrils, you can see they didn't fully paint it, unless it's supposed to be like that. I could be wrong and incorrect. QC issue is her eyes. The right eye is painted closer to her nostril, but the left eye is much further away from it. I mean, that's not supposed to look like that. I believe both eyes should be like how the right eye is. So there's a QC issue with the paint, which is really bad looking. But we do get some clean paint where the skin tone meets the hair, and then the rest of the mask around the hair, we do get some clean paint on the strap right there, and the hair turned out really good on this figure. Some nice sculpt all throughout it, and we do get a very nice black wash all throughout the brown hair as well. And it is articulated, which we'll go over later. Now for her suit here, it does have a very nice texture on it besides the gloves and the boots, and on the torso it has like a glittery type look to it. It's not metallic because it's like a matte color, but it looks like there's glitter on her torso, on her suit. It's not on her thighs, the crotch area, or on her arms. It's just on the torso, and it's really weird. It's kind of like an off color compared to the rest, like her crotch, her upper thighs, and her arms. The torso is like a different color black, which is a bit odd, but we do get that nice sculpted texture. We do get the zipper tab that is sculpted and painted there up on the top, and we do get like some sculpted lines here and there throughout her suit. Same with on the back as well. And the arms turned out really good. We do get that sculpted texture on the upper arm. Then we do get her gloves with some nice sculpted wrinkles all throughout it, so I dig the way those turned out. And then we do get her belt here, very plain and bland looking. There's like no paint detail on any of these. I mean, I don't know what they really could have done. Maybe added like a shading or something on it, or a wash, you know what I mean? I think her suit is very bland looking because it's just all one color, you know what I mean? So I guess there's really not much Tamashii Nations could have really done when it comes to that. Now for the lower legs here, we do get that sculpted texture on the crotch area and up on the upper thigh right there. Then we do get her hooker boots, which turned out really nice. I do like how we have sculpted wrinkles all the way from the top down to the ankles right there. And we do get a sculpted line on the front, but it stops at the knee, but then we do get the sculpted line on the back, but continues all the way down to the ankle. And the knee joints look ugly as hell from the side and the back there. Now for the heels here, they turned out alright, and she can stand pretty well on her own. You do have to balance her out right though, so you could have her stand on her own and not use a stand. And the heels themselves turned out pretty good, but I do have a QC issue with the left one. They put it on crooked, so I'm going to have to try to take that off and re-glue it on myself. I mean, come on, Tamashii Nations, what the hell is that? What the hell, man? And another thing, the ankle joints seem very fragile with this figure, so be extra careful when you articulate her ankles. But overall, I think Tamashii Nations did a decent job with the figure. There is a couple QC issues, which definitely isn't good, but other than that, I think the paint sculpt turned out pretty damn good. But anyway, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, we really don't get much included with this Catwoman, and my biggest issue with the accessories is she has no alternate faces. We just get the one face that comes on the figure out of the packaging, which is pretty disappointing. I mean, it's 2018. Any import figure should at least have an extra interchangeable face or a head. It's kind of weird just having the one, you know what I mean? And it just doesn't give you as many display options. But the reason why I think they did that is because they gave us two pairs of goggles here. So we do have this one that she wears that goes over her eyes, and we do have a nice red translucent plastic for the lens right there, and then we do have the lights painted blue, as you can see, and the sculpt of it does look pretty cool. And we do have pegs on them right there because she does have peg holes right above her ears, so you just peg in the one side and then peg the lips, peg the other side in, and then there you go, you have her wearing her glasses or goggles right there, and they look really cool once you have them on the figure. That is how I will definitely have my Catwoman displayed. So we do get the ones that go over her eyes, and then we do get the ones that go on top of her head, so it looks like she has cat ears, and we do get the red translucent plastic. Once again, they did paint the lights blue as well, and we do get some decent sculpt all throughout it as well. And the way you get these on, the same way as the other ones, you just put it on top of her head so it looks like she has cat ears. And it looks pretty cool, I guess. So we do get the two goggles. And then we also get a handgun, which is just molded in a black plastic, but we do get some very nice tiny sculpt detail all throughout, and it just turned out really nice. So we do get the gun, and then we finally get 8 interchangeable hands. And starting all the way on the right here, we do get a pair of fists, of course, which come on the figure out of the packaging, and all the hands are just molded in a black plastic, and all of them are very simple to interchange. So we do get a pair of those. Then we do get a pair of gripping hands, and these are meant for the Bat Pod, so she could be compatible with the Bat Pod, which is definitely cool if you do own the Figuarts Bat Pod. So we do get a pair of those. Then we do get a pair of trigger finger hands, and she does grip onto the gun perfectly with these. The thumb isn't molded to the finger, so you can pry them open a little bit to get the gun in her hands right there. And then finally we do get a pair of open resting hands, and all the hands do have some pretty good sculpt to them. But anyway, that is all the accessories included with Catwoman. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review, shall we? Now for the height of Selina Kyle. To the very top of her head, it looks like she's just shy of 6 inches tall. And then here she is compared to the SH Figuarts, the Dark Knight Batman, the Dark Knight Joker, the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn, and the Infinity War Black Widow. And it just goes to show you with these two female figures that Tamashii Nations can make a really badass SH Figuarts woman figure. This Catwoman is just lacking in so many ways. It's mind-baffling, and I believe she's supposed to be a little bit shorter compared to Bale's Batman. And then here she is compared to the Mafex 2.0 Joker, the Dark Knight Harvey Dent Two-Face, the Dark Knight Rises Bane, and the SH Figuarts Justice League Wonder Woman. And it just goes to show you once again Tamashii Nations can make a great female figure. And then here she is compared to the Mafex Justice League Superman, the Tactical Suit Batman, the SH Figuarts Deadshot, and the Mezco 112 Deathstroke. And then here she is compared to the Storm Collectibles Sub-Zero, the SH Figuarts Sage Mode Naruto, the Figma Deadpool, and the Marvel Legends Cable. And then here she is compared to the SH Figuarts Awakened Warrior Super Saiyan Goku, and the Mezco 112 Deadpool. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, and this Catwoman has some really weird articulation and some very bad points of articulation. Some points are good and some points are just horrendously bad, and there's just some weird points to the articulation as well. So the lower part of her hair is on a ball peg, so you can swivel, can pivot a tiny bit, and it can hinge up and down. So that is cool that it is articulated. We do get 2 joints at the neck here. So the upper neck joint, you could get Selina Kyle to look up, I guess, about that much. Might be able to get her to look up more. Yeah, there we go. I did have the joint going side to side instead of forward and back. So she does look up a lot, so that is definitely good. She does look down pretty well with that joint. We do get a little bit of pivot out of the joint there, and then of course it does swivel. The lower neck joint does go forward and back a decent amount. So with both joints, she just looks down a tiny bit, and both joints she does look up pretty much all the way, so that's definitely good. We do get a little bit of pivot at the lower neck, and then it does swivel as well, so pretty good movement at both the neck joints and the hair. Then we do get a point of articulation at the torso, right under her boobs, and this point of articulation is a bit odd. It's like it doesn't have good movement, but if you force it, you could bring it forward more, but then it's like it comes off the joint. I don't know if it's like a shifting type joint or something like that, but it just, I don't know, it it doesn't go forward at all, but if you force it, you can get it to go forward, but it pops off the joint. You know what I mean? So that torso joint is really bad. I think that's the actual articulation you get out of it without popping the joint out. Really bad pivot there, but you do get nice swivel. The waist here, much better forward and back movement. Not much better pivot and just a tiny bit of swivel. So really bad articulation at the torso and the waist. Really, really bad. Now for the shoulders here, we do have a nice joint at the shoulder, so you can get the arm in a circular motion, as you can see right there. Then the arms do go out to the side, about 90 degrees, which is good. They do go up and down, no bicep swivel. It is built into the shoulder, so you will swivel it there. Then we do have a single jointed elbow. Just barely gets 90 degrees. It's like, come on, man. You couldn't have made that bend in a little bit more. You do get swivel. Actually, at the glove there, it swivels. I didn't even pick up on that, and it does swivel a tiny bit at the elbow joint. And doesn't swivel too much where it connects into the forearm right there. Then we do have a ball hinge on the wrist, so it does swivel and hinges back and forth. Now for the legs here, this is where the articulation gets really bad. Once again, they drop down barely at all, as you can see right there. I mean, that's kind of a pointless drop down leg joint right there, but she does kick forward decently. You can get her to kick forward about 90 degrees. You could force it more, but the leg will go out to the side, as you can see right there. Goes to the back, pretty good actually, and then she cannot move her legs out to the sides at all. That's pathetic. That is pathetic outward leg movement on an SH Figuarts figure. Like, really, Tamashii Nations? Are you guys kidding me with that? Can't even get her to go 45 degrees. That is horrible. That is the worst outward leg movement I've ever seen on a figure, period. We do get a little bit of an upper thigh swivel. Then we do get a mid thigh swivel right here at the boot. Then we do have single jointed knees that bend in a little more than 90 degrees, so that's definitely good. The joint doesn't swivel too much where it connects into the thigh. It does swivel a little bit more where it connects into the lower leg. Now for the ankles, they are on a ball hinge just like the wrists, so it does swivel where the joint connects into the ankle. They do hinge up a really good amount. Same with hinging down, and then you can get some really good ankle pivot with this Catwoman, almost a 90-degree bend right there. And then we do have a toe hinge where you can completely break her toes going up and down. So overall, the articulation, I don't know, man, it really isn't that good. There's some really, really bad points of articulation with this figure, and you're not going to be able to get her into too many poses, which is pretty damn disappointing for an SH Figuarts figure. I feel like Tamashii Nations really put little effort into making this figure, and the articulation's pretty disappointing, so you're going to be able to get her into very minimal Catwoman-like poses, and I'm about to show you some of them right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the SH Figuarts The Dark Knight Rises Catwoman. Hope you enjoyed it. If I had to rate this figure between a 1 through 10, I'd have to give it a low score of a 6. If you would like to know the price and where to buy this figure, I did get mine from Agelessgeeks, so you could head over to Agelessgeeks.com, or I would recommend going through their Instagram or Facebook group. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, oh well, I guess you didn't like it. But thanks for watching. I will see you later. Then on the bottom here, we do get an image of the SELINA Kyle figures. Says Catwoman Dark. Then we do get an image of the Catwoman figures. Says Catwoman The Dark Knight Rises. Says Catwoman The Dark Knight Rises. Tamashii Nations. Oh, damn it. Dumb. It looks like she's just shy of... The Mafex 2.0 Joker The Dark... Oh, damn it. Damn it. The Mafex 2.0 Joker The Dark Knight. The Mayfex 2.0 Joker, the Dark Knight, Chubba Chubby Jabba Jew. Damn it. The SH Figuarts, oh, damn it, almost called him Deathstroke. Damn! The SH Figuarts, Deadshot, and the, oh, damn it, almost said Mayfex. What the heck is wrong with me? And the Misco 112 Deadpool. Anyway, there's some quick... oh, damn.